The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Martinsville Speedway, the track in Ridgeway, Virginia, just south of the city of Martinsville, one of the first paved oval tracks in stock car racing, built in 1947, the year before NASCAR was formed, the only track that's been around since 1948, and well, tonight, it's gonna be a thrill here in Martinsville for 150 laps. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PTR TV. I am not Corey Silva, as you may be familiar with, but my name is Brad Dalton, and I will be taking you around here for the fun at the thrill of the Ville here in the Smart Modified Tour, powered by Pace-O-Matic. It's gonna be a really fun one here in the Furniture Mart Weekly Series as we get things up and out and on to the track. We get ready to go here, and well, the big question for me, the $1 million question, is gonna become who can beat the kid? Who can beat the legend? And well, what do I mean by that here tonight? Well, we have the leader of the points in the Smart Modified Tour in the real life, Mr. Carson Lofton, who's gonna be joining us here on track today, and we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting nonetheless to see how that goes. And again, my name is Bradley Dalton, or Brad Dalton, depending on how you want to know me. I am going to be doing everything up here in the booth. I'll be doing the play-by-play. I'll be doing the top to bottom. I'll be bringing it all for you here today. Your weather as it stands in Martinsville as we wait on qualifying to tick down here for the last couple of minutes. It is, of course, a 8:45 p.m. virtual time, 78-degree Fahrenheit track, 78-degree Fahrenheit air. Plenty of beauty there with that, and of course 45% humidity, just a little bit of wind, nothing that these open wheel modifieds can't handle. And I'll tell you, I got a real soft spot for these cars. It's the first and only win that I personally ever got in iRacing, so I'm gonna hold a very near and dear spot to this series and these cars, and that is just for me. Race analysis here as it stands is gonna be, well, that is gonna be for qualifying. We'll talk about that in a minute. Track info here. 0.49 miles, 4 turns here at Martinsville. It's just a nice little, it's called a paperclip, to be honest with you, and it's kind of interesting. Let's talk about the combined standings. Of course, this series does alternate between the late models and the open modifieds, and well, if you look at it, Dylan Connor has been absolutely killing the game all the way around. Richard Allen at 356 points. Walker Cole tied at 356. Austin Miller at 354. Adam Cole 1 point behind at 353. Bo Ledbetter at 353 as well. Caleb Anderson 347. Austin Purnell 343. Bradley Smith at 341. And Brian Cole at 338. That is after 3 of 12 races with 1 drop per division. So 6 weeks of late models, you can miss 1 week. 6 weeks of the Smart Modified Tour, you can miss 1 week. And what can I say other than I'm pretty excited to see how this one goes. And if this is your first time here, make sure it's not your last time. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bells, do all the fun things, and follow us here on PTR TV. We got plenty of action coming up, and this is going to be a fun series to follow on the channel as it stands. And a couple of fun things as I prepped for this league here tonight. It was brought to my attention, double file restarts, but the leader has the lane choice, as it should be. The leader gets to choose if they want the high line, the low line, the side line, the back line, the front line, what they want, and they go with it from there. I'm pretty excited to watch how that one ends up. And of course, fuel level is set. Everyone's gonna need to pit at some point. So if you think about that, everyone's got to pit. They don't have to take tires. They've at least got to get fuel though, which is going to make things very interesting. I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. And of course, as I mentioned, Mr. Carson Lofton. And if you don't know who Carson Lofton is, well, I encourage you to go check out CarsonLoftonRacing.com. where you can see he has won multiple times. He's got 5 career wins in the Smart Modified Tour. He's got plenty of top 10 finishes to boot. And well, if you want to see him in person, he's doing a beach double August 30th and August 31st. The Pace-O-Matic 99 and the Carteret Clash down at Carteret County Speedway and New River All-American Speedway in North Carolina. So if you want to see him race, you can see him kicking back up here in just a couple weeks, August 30th and August 31st. If you're down in North Carolina, you get a chance to see him. But again, 5 Smart Modified Tour wins to his name, which I gotta say is a pretty mighty amount here. Again, I got just 1 win in iRacing, so I feel pretty good about how things are here. As we wait on things to grid up, we are gonna get our grid going. So let's go ahead and pull you up that PTR TV starting grid. And it is, of course, gonna be I'm showing Chase Pierce here with Austin Purnell, P1 and P2, respectively. From there, we're going to be going Dylan Connor and Bo Ledbetter, P3 and P4, as they set up. And then from there, we're going to be going P5, P6. Let's get this rocking a little bit there. And P5, P6, that was, of course, going to be our boy Carson Lofton there in P5 and P6, Kevin Ammon. From there, we're looking at P7 and P8, Blaine Curry, Chase Robertson, P9, Cameron Billings, Camden McMillan in P9, P10, Preston McGee, Walker Cole. From there, Richard Allen, Brian Cole, the next row, Colin Kennedy, Aaron Harden, the next row, Branson McCann, Justin Hoyle, the next row. From there, Ryan Robertson, Austin Miller will be bringing it around, Jeff Bunton, Riley Marcello, next, Larson Parker, Chris Williams, Bobby Gray, Caleb Anderson, Adam Cole, and Brant McNeil. We still got a few more cars. Bradley Smith, Mike Celentano, Slate Myers, John Songer, and that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our entire grid as it stands. And that, let me tell you, is a good amount of cars to have up and ready to go. And, well, if you ask me who is going to win here tonight, I do not have a solid answer for you as it goes. But we'll bring you all the action here as it stands, your race details for the night as it goes. Let's get that up for you, of course, and your race details as it stands. 150 laps, 32 drivers, estimated strength of field just over 2,900. And well, if you ask me, the keys to the race here tonight, it's going to be managing your fuel and manage your tires, make them last. It's going to be, of course, looking at open wheel cars. You'll see what I mean by open wheel cars. If you're a Formula One fan, you know what I mean. And of course, it's not survival of the fittest. It's going to be survival of the bravest. Who can make things work here? And I tell you what, if you're me in this mix, my big scare is going to be Mr. Carson Lofton back here in P5 and that number 23. We'll keep our eyes on him and see what happens. But it is, of course, Chase Pierce, Austin Purnell in the front row. They're going to get things set up for us here today, and it's going to be coming around, and we are going to have Barney with the flag. We're green flag ready to go, and we are going to have green. We're underway here for 150 laps. Chase Pierce, Austin Purnell up on the front, and Mr. Chase Pierce is going to have the run. Back in the background there, it is going to be Bo Ledbetter, who is trying to find a move around where he can. Carson Lofton there in 4th place is trying to take a look, 92, and caution number 1 underfield here today. What happened to make that caution? Well, let's see if we can find it really quick, and we will find exactly what happened here really quick. Let's find our incident here for you today. Let's see if we can find this here. Get you a quick PTR TV replay. Well, I do believe that this, ladies and gentlemen, might have been what started. It's back here, back in the back of the pack with Austin Miller. I think this is where our caution came in. You see he's checked up. Who was that in the background? Let's see if we can find who that was again really quick. Well, let's go back one more time here to the replay as we take a look up in the front. It was going to actually be, I believe, a little bit further up. There we go. It's the 87 of Preston McGee who brought it around and went through, and that is what started everything there on the run. But he got everything back and going, so no harm, No foul there. We get back going. We're under caution number 1. And let's talk about the caution rules really quick. Again, if this is your first time here, make sure it's not your last time. But it is anyone who causes the caution can get an end of line. 3 end of lines means you're parked for the night, which means you better be on your P's and Q's when you're running around here. That is the big name of the game. Be on your P's, be on your Q's, and keep things together, and you'll be just fine here. Lap 4 of 150, and we are under caution number 1 of the night. 150 laps. We'll see exactly what happens here. It's that mid-pack, that backpack that I'm really going to be watching for, because they're the ones that I think are going to get a little checked up, a little kind of bowed up, and they're going to have the big moment. That's the number 32 of Riley Marcello, who is there. It looks like something has put him a little bit off of the pace and has gotten him up in there. But Chase Pierce, so far, started in the lead lap, started in the lead position, is running on the lead position. No harm, no foul for him here tonight. We'll see how long he can hold on to that position tonight as we continue along. You know, I talked a couple minutes ago, I made that F1 comment, and I feel like if you don't know me, you don't know this, but I started out originally as an F1 esports commentator before I brought my way around into the world of iRacing. So open wheel is something I know a little bit about, and again, this car holds the title for me of the first and only win I've gotten in iRacing, and that was at Boston Speedway. A nice little short track. I sent a deep dive into turn 2, got the pass on the final lap, and took it around for the win. But I will say, I've had plenty of moments in these cars as well with spinning them out, going around. So you got to be real careful with them and be very, very gentle with them. They're cars that can get away from you, but it's probably the best car on the iRacing service, if you ask me myself, and that is a personal opinion. That is not the opinion of PTR TV. And as we come around, we're going to be back green underway. Austin Purnell and Chase Pierce are going to be running through with Dylan Connor and Carson Lofton back in the background. And as you see, Chase Pierce with that start gets away well. Carson Lofton already driving up the inside, and Austin Purnell losing positions day by day, minute by minute. And he is going to continue to do that as the night goes on. I believe if he's there, he pops a little loose there. You see everybody getting a little wiggly, a little defensive. I see somebody in the background, and somebody is flipped. There we go. Caution flag is out again. Big pile up on the front stretch, and somebody is going upside down. Who was that, actually? That was the number 14 of Mr. Jeff Bunton going around. Well, let's get a quick PTR TV replay to you and see if we can't tell what happened to Mr. Jeff Bunton, because that was a very, very weird one. There we go. Yep. We'll get the replay in for you really quick here. And this is going to be your replay as it stands. So we're watching Jeff Bunton here and seeing what happened to him. We go around and bring it through. He's going to be down low. There was the wiggle up front. Everybody's checking. 87 spins. Jeff's trying to go through, and, well, he makes it through. It looks like that way. So I don't know exactly what happened to him. It's a weird moment from him. I'm not sure exactly what's happened then. So some big spins happen on there, but we are going to be going back around. Let's take you back live really quick as we get things back live. You can see that those cars are real swirly, real twisted around, but who is up in P2? Well, it's none other than Mr. Carson Lofton as we go through, and you're going to have some early pains here in the race as we go, as we see the wave around being given. You're going to have some early moments here in the race that drivers are just going to have to be a little bit comfortable with in the interim. I think, though, for the most part, everybody will be fairly together as this race continues. Barney has that caution flag out for the second time, and I feel it will not be the last time here tonight. As the field paces through here and we wait for things to go back green. Just kind of appreciate the cars. I really like these cams down in the down in the curb there. They're really nice to look at here. We pace around lap 12 of 150, and we will continue on and around, and Chase Pierce will, of course, lead the restart. He gets to pick a lane. He's picked inside lane here, but he does have Carson Lofton on the outside. Outside lane isn't really where you want to be in this situation, but for a driver like Carson Lofton, I don't think he'll have too much of an issue as we continue around here. You see they're already starting to bunch up. We do still have one to green here as we drive on by, and we'll see if that number 71, Chase Pierce, sticks that inside lane. I will be surprised if anyone picks the outside lane at any time here tonight. And lights on the car go off. 1 to green is now called. We'll come around here, and this is where things get interesting as the leader. You need to kind of really zone in. You've got to nail these restarts lap after lap after lap after lap. You have no option but to nail a restart. And it's kind of unfortunate for him, but it's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. But you can see he's got some very, very hungry drivers back behind, and Carson Lofton is going to just hold him there down to the low side. Pace car pulls off. Barney's got the green flag in hand. Green, green, green will be called here as they exit 4. And there we go, the 71, but the 23 was ready. Carson Lofton was ready for him. And here we go down into turn 1. There it is, and Carson Lofton is going to just settle in right behind him as we go. The 71 will stick to the line, and the 23 is going to follow him through. Those two are going to stick around side by side for a moment. We've got some action further back. Everybody through the field, kind of going 2 by 2 as they exit off of turn 4, and you see a little bit of action here. I see that number 78, the purple car, that is going to be Bo Ledbetter, who is trying to make a pass here on the moment. He's trying to get around that number 69 of Camden McMillan if he can make a pass, but Camden's trying to run high. A little bit of a bumper tap there, and the 10 has to go very defensive. Everybody's checking up. Wreck in the background there. Justin Hoyle just narrowly avoiding it. Austin Miller is in the mix, it looks like. It looks like Brian Cole is in there as well. The number 31 is in as well. Ryan Robertson. Caution thrown, and the 14 and the 87 are in there as well. Preston McGee and Mr. Jeff Button. Let's see if we can't find a quick replay as the field is going to sort themselves out and tell exactly what happened. Here's your replay, and it all starts with that number 82 checking up. And that is going to be what kind of checks it all. A lot of drivers getting slow through the corners. It looks like just the field is checking up as we go in. This is going to be our replay here. Coming into the turn, this was a car driving slowly. You see the action happening there in front. And well, as they come around, that 41 just had to check up. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get one more good angle of this. And there we go. That's where it all started. That's how the 87 gets involved as we go through. And you can see everybody kind of trying to find out. Come on, guys. As they try to find their way through. This track is narrow. It makes it very, very hard, but you do have to be careful on the cautions to make sure you're not causing more incidents than needed as we take things back live here. And you see that Chris Williams here, just kind of nice and pacing around. Up front, it is Carson Lofton, Chase Pierce, Dylan Connor, Austin Purnell, Kevin Ammon, Cameron Billings, Blaine Curry, Chase Robertson, Camden McMillan, and Bo Ledbetter. We watched Bo for just a moment, trying to make some passes, trying to do some different things, and we saw him up into 10th place here, and Bo on the night isn't doing too bad. He's currently going to be running in 10th. He started 4th, but he's running 10th. He's still not doing too bad if you consider we've only had about 5 green flag laps as it's set, so he's not really doing bad. He's dropped back a few places, but you know that happens every once in a while as we go and things continue on here. You know, when you're sitting as a driver in this sort of set, you really do just have to sort of keep your brain together. You've got to be nice and collected and ready to go. You really have to know what you're looking at, and you've just got to keep engaged, which is very, very hard to do sometimes. It is a challenge because you're going to be pacing around. You're going to want to sit there and you're going to want to check TikTok. You're going to want to get on your phone. You're going to want to sort of just uncheck out, if that makes sense. Like, you get into the race, you get ready to go, and then you start getting caution after caution. You kind of go, oh man, like what is happening here? Like, I'm not into it. Robertson serving end of line here, so admin have put him at fault for that last accident. But yeah, you kind of get in and you kind of go lap after lap after lap, and you're like, man, we keep going under caution, going back to green, going to caution, go back to green. and you just have to sort of hold yourself together and keep things there, which is, you know, it's easier said than done, I won't lie. But the guys seem to be doing a very, very good job. And of course, if you are joining us here in the YouTube, 36 people watching here, welcome everybody in YouTube. Let's play the PTR TV game. Let's play the game. How many cautions are we predicting on the night? I'm going to stop counting cautions, and we'll check our race recap around lap 140, if I remember it, and see how many cautions we go on the night. Closest person without going over, you get a shout out from me. I don't know if that's worth anything, but that's what I'm going to offer. So let's see who can get closest on the number of cautions for the night. I currently have it at 3, and I am saying we're going to go to 6. So whoever can call that out, you can call that out. But we're going to be back. Green flag running lap 21 of 150. Plenty of time left to go here in this race. And it is going to be Carson Lofton. Gets the good run there. Back in 3rd and 4th, it is going to be the number 92 and the 15 with the 1 and the 4 following close behind there, trying to keep things together and go. And the 15 forced to the outside. 92 is going to try to hold that inside line. They get the rotation through 4. Who can come around? And it is still going to be the 15 on the high line. Austin Purnell really trying to keep that car in place. Dylan Connor will settle back in there. Single file a little bit further back the field here. You can see that number 78, very loose, Bo Ledbetter, losing another position of the number 69 and going around. Can he hold on from Camden McMillan? He can't. Bo Ledbetter dropping back to T10. He might drop back to P11 as well there. The number 4 might get him around as well, and we'll see if that can happen. The number 4 being actually the number 51. It looks like there is a mismatch there, and we do apologize for that. There was a glitch in the server is what I was told. I've got Aaron Harden dropping down several places in the background, but up front, Carson Lofton holding off Mr. Chase Pierce for now as he can go through, and that is a 41 running down low, missing a front tire entirely. He's busted that front end, and he goes there into pits. Let's see if we can pick up. It looks like Chris Williams and Ryan Robertson may have had a moment. Let's see if we can pick up on that replay really quick and tell exactly what happened. Well, let's get your replay going in here. There we go. There's the spin from the 31, and he hits that, and then he cuts back out into the 41 of Chris Williams. Not at all what you want to see, but you can see how the front end of those cars looks. And I'll tell you right now, that car is junked. Junked. And that will be our next caution of the night. Couldn't tell you what caution number. There's the leaders coming through. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we went back under another caution. I mean, I don't know how you drive with a front axle gone like that. You can certainly try, but probably not going to be the move I recommend. Nobody has really been in the pits yet. Brian Cole's been in, Preston McGee. Pretty much if they've been in an incident, they've been in the pits. Everyone, the leaders, has stayed out, and that doesn't surprise me. Again, I don't think this is a tire-limited race, especially if we keep pacing laps like this. I think this is a fuel-limited race more than anything. Carson Lofton really wants that pace car to kind of get going there. He's flirting with danger there because, of course, iRacing pace car can get mad at you and send you off and just kind of bunch you out of the race. So you got to be careful with that. I do want iRacing one year to decide to make the pace car for April Fool's Day, make it solid for one day only, just to throw everyone off. I think that would be a hilarious little prank to play. I know they'd never do it, but man, would I love it. Although then again, it's iRacing. You never know. They could do it one day just for fun. Just for, how have I heard it said? Just for funsies? Yeah, that's the phrase. Just for funsies. They'll never do it, though. Don't worry, everyone. It can't happen. I would like it to happen, but you never know. Jeff Bunton out. Should keep cautions down, says Mike Branch. Oh, come on, Mike. Be nice to Jeff Bunton. Everyone has a night that's not their night. And I think for tonight, it was not his night. Freddie Weaver says 9 cautions. Man, I hope you are not right because I have work in the morning. And I don't know about you all, where you're at in the world, but my local schools all started back today. All the public schools and colleges are moving back in. So my drive has about an extra 20 minutes to it in the morning. It was already about 40 minutes. Let's just go ahead and make it an hour with fighting school buses. So I hope we don't have 9 cautions, but you may not be wrong. I may not disagree with you there, actually, as this continues on and we pace our way around here in this Martinsville race. We keep things going through. We're going to double file up. We're 1 to green now officially. Lap 30 of 150. It'll be 31 as they cross the line. Now, Chase Pierce, what can you bring to the table to get around Mr. Carson Lofton? He's got 5 real-life Spartan Modified Tour wins. Do you have something that you can bring to answer to get yourself in the mix to prevent him from having a virtual Smart Modified Tour win? Well, we're going to find out. They're going to come around. Pace car is down. The 23 has control of the field, and we go on the leader. We come around through turn 4, through that Geico restart zone. He hasn't gone yet. Now he goes off the line, and we're green, green, green yet again. We're going to take things underway here, and we will bring things through. It is going to be number 23, Carson Lofton, ahead of the 71, back in the back. We're running 2x2. That is the number 1 dropping back, and it's the 92 and the 4 to the outside, trying to make a move, and that number 4 trying to make his way around as well. And just as a reminder, that number 4 is not actually a number 4. That is actually going to be Mr. Kevin Ammon trying to find his way around here in the mix, the 92 there. And then Kevin Ammon. Chase Robertson here on the inside running the New Country Q104 livery, trying to find his way around. I said livery, paint scheme. Come on now. We're watching short track racing. There we go. We continue around again. For the moment, these guys are just trying to keep the car on the track. They're trying to keep things moving. We look back a little bit further. That number 69 is spaced out, and really they are starting to space out here a little bit more. 33 of 150, and nothing too crazy has happened here early on, but we go back up with your leaders, and what is it? Second verse, same as the first. 23 Carson Lofton, 71 Chase Pierce, just holding on. Everybody's found that single file layout that they needed to find, so we're going to start seeing a little bit more here from them, but watch the lines. Watch the way they pick the lines here. Carson Lofton is a little bit closer to the wall, and as you watch them go through, Chase Pierce is going to dive a little bit more, and Carson's got that better line going through on exit, I feel. Watch as they go through, and he's getting a little bit lower in, he's getting a little bit higher out, and he's got just enough in the tank that he can try to keep the run ahead as he wants. It's really his race to lose here at the moment. We continue on and continue forward. Further back in the field, we do have Riley here, who is trying to find a way to hold off Mr. Justin Hoyle just behind him if he can. That is the million-dollar question. And Justin Hoyle, of course, is going to have a wonderful friend of Austin Miller just behind, who he is trying to hold off. Everything's very, very close here, and one mistake can spell the difference in your race. As we continue on here, lap 37 of 150 down, lap 38 as they cross the line, and well, for the most part, everything's gotten single file here except for, well, we'll go back up here. Cameron Billings trying to make a move up the inside if he can on Blaine Curry. Blaine Curry to the outside, trying to hold on there. Cameron Billings inside, a little bit of a tap there and a little bit of a bump. He's going to make it work there, and there we go, side by side. Still they hold it. Which one's going to come out ahead? It's hard to tell. They're just swapping positions left, right, and center as much as they can, and we continue on yet again. Now he's going to have just a little bit of an edge there, and finally Blaine Curry backs out of it. He says, you know what, I'm done with this. He gives him a little tap from the rear bumper. Everybody kind of checking up behind, and now Blaine Curry has Bo Ledbetter for a little bit of company back behind here. Lap 40 of 150 on the charts, and Bo Ledbetter right there in the mix. Now look at this. The number 10 back of Walker Cole is going to start losing positions as we go. Walker Cole trying to defend from Riley back in the background from Mercio, and he is going to go to the outside. He's going to have that through, and now Riley there is going to look to the inside. It gets a little swirly, another little tap, and there goes Walker Cole trying to hold on to it. 3 wide going down the backstretch, and another big tap. They need to sort that one out. They sort it out, and the number 10 is going to settle his way in. Walker Cole now down into that 15th place, but he's going to try to hold on to it in that Krispy Kreme car. Man, why does everyone have a Krispy Kreme car in their series? Every series I commentate has one guy that runs the Krispy Kreme car. Walker Cole, be looking for your PayPal, sir, because I'm going to send you an invoice for my Krispy Kreme bill in the morning, because I'm going to have to stop and get donuts now. So you, sir, will be paying for those, I hope. Let's jump back up front, because Carson Lofton has lost a couple places while I've been checking on the background, and here we go. Carson Lofton trying to look to the high line. He's trying to hold on to it. He's really trying to hold on to it as he goes around with Austin Purnell, and he gets the pass done, but Chase Pierce is going to be in the lead here. Now we got to watch and see how this goes. Lap 44 on the books. What does Carson Lofton have in the tank to try to bring on here? That is going to be the big question. Let's jump on board with him and see how this car is handling around the track for Mr. Carson Lofton. And, well, as we jump on board, you see he's really working the wheel here, trying to make it go. And one of the things I love about these smart modifieds is going to be just that big hood, that big air intake. It really means you have to focus through. So on our camera, this is all we could see, but through the power of iRacing, this is what he sees. It's not much better, is it? It's really not, but that's just kind of how we ride on as we go. And this is just where we settle in for the night on board with Carson Lofton. You see he's trying to chase down Chase Pierce as he can. Don't know what he'll be able to do, but doggone it if he ain't going to try it as we continue on here and continue through. Let's jump back in the background here. Chase Robertson is getting under pressure yet again from Kevin Ammon, and we're going to see if he can find his way through and find his way around. That is going to be the big key. We've gotten back into single file racing. There was a moment there where things got real hairy. We had 3 wide on the backstretch. We've gotten back into single file here, and now the drivers are really starting to tick these laps down and keep things moving, but that doesn't mean anything. Anything can happen as we go and head down this race. Kevin Ammon there on your screen. The driver down low, that is the number 41 of Chris Williams, down 23 laps, and he is trying to stay well out of the way there. You see he is just holding that inside line. Everybody's got to go around him there and just get through as they can. He wants to try to get up high and get out of the way, but man, it is hard to do on a track like this unless you can find just that perfect gap to get out of the way. But really, he is doing his darndest to stay out of the way. He's just running low, he's running slow. It's very, very clean maneuvers from him here as we go around. Let's check back in with our race leaders. Chase Pierce, Carson Lofton, P1, P2 respectively. Austin Purnell there in 3rd place, and Dylan Connor in P4. Chase Robertson rounds out your top 5, and yes, it's a 2.5 second gap between the top 5 as it stands. Riley is passing Bo Ledbetter now in the background. That is the pass for P10. So Riley finding his way up into a top 10 for the night. He has pit. He pit on lap 4. On lap 10. So he has pit during the 2nd caution, I believe it was. And he is going to be out and trying to just keep this car running around for the rest of this race. If he can get through it, I would think he'd be okay, but fuel calculations could mean he is out for going through one more time. And another caution has been thrown here. I'm not sure for what at the moment. See if we can find you exactly what caused that caution here. And I'm not really seeing anything to tell me what happened. Is this? Oh, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's our man number 41, Chris Williams. Trying to stay high, stay out of the way. And well, the car doesn't like that. Car snaps around on him there. Sends him in, and he's stationary long enough that it registers for a caution. Sometimes you have that happen. It's unfortunate, but man, every once in a while, it's going to happen here. And now, our leader is Chase Pierce. As we continue pacing around, we had a good little bit of a green flag run, so we can see that I think on long-term pace, Chase Pierce can try to put some pressure on Carson Lofton. And we'll see how that plays in the interim. Freddie, if you're asking what caution number this is, I'm going to tell you I don't know. I'll go ahead and check our race recap at the moment. We've had 5 cautions so far. So yes, that is caution number 5. And we are 56 laps in. How many more cautions will we have on the night? I don't have an answer for you. It'll be interesting to see here, and I see YouTube chat is plenty alive. Big shout out to everyone watching here. Of course, if this is your first time here on PTR TV, make sure it's not your last time. Make sure you like and subscribe here, and give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter as well. We try to be pretty active on Facebook if it's not Corey on, it's primarily Corey, and every once in a while he gives me the permission to kind of take the reins, which is how you ended up with me tonight. And, well, it's a lot of fun to be here, I won't lie. It's pretty enjoyable for me to be here doing some short track racing. This is my bread and butter. This is what I know and love, so I'm enjoying this very much so far. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, while we are pacing under caution, I'm going to take a quick moment here, grab something to drink, get my voice coming back a little bit. Hang on with us, and we'll be back with the One to Green. I'll tell you what, One to Green couldn't have came at a much more surprising time for me. So we are back. We are ready to party here. Everybody gets double file. You see the checkups back in the mid-pack. Chase Pierce takes control of the field. Carson Lofton there to the outside. Who's going to come out ahead on the restart? Well, it's up to Chase Pierce when they go. They jump, and look at the background. Big wiggles from everyone. We're 4 wide. There's the Krispy Kreme car going around. Walker Cole. They're 4 wide. Going through, they come around, and I do see somebody spinning in the background. There's a big one going around out of the exit of 2, and well, if that's not a caution, I don't know what will be. We continue on, though, for the moment, because look at this. Carson Lofton is ahead of Chase Pierce in the front. Man, that was a moment. We'll have to go back and watch that one in a second. Branson McCannon has had a moment as well. Caleb Anderson, Adam Cole, Bradley Smith, Chris Williams, I believe, was involved as well. But in the meantime of all of that, up in the front, Carson Lofton finds his way around Chase Pierce and is able to get his way through here to continue on. Lap 61 to 150 on the table. Riley and Camden back here in the background, the 69 and the 32 battling in the 69 to the inside. He's going to try to get this pass done. He wants to slide low. He wants to go around, and he gets the pass done there in the P9 position now, if he can hold on to it or in the P8 position. Sorry, if he can hold on to it. We'll see what happens up front. Carson Lofton trying to hold off Chase Pierce. Yet again, Chase Pierce is going to be trying to find some sort of a run for him. We'll see if he's able to get this through. We'll jump on board for a moment with our man Chase Pierce and see what he could do as we jump on board. And look at him as he exits the corner here, as he runs it through. These cars are only 2 gears, so you're not going to see any shifting, anything crazy. But look, they're only coming down to 70 miles an hour in the corner. Can you imagine hitting that corner at 70 miles an hour? I certainly can. I'd love to try it, but doggone, man. It's a very, very quick. But you can see he's revving this car to the absolute extreme all the way down, red line. And now as we come around, he's sending it through. A little bit of a slide from Carson Lofton as he tries to defend this run here as we go, and he is holding on to it for just the moment. Man, Chase Pierce looks fast, though. And we'll see what happens with that. Back in the background here, Chase Robertson also looks very fast on Austin Purnell. If he can try to make his pass through there in that Q104 paint scheme car, we'll see what he can do to try to make this pass. He's going to look inside here, but very, very good blocking. Oh, and Austin's going to run it wide there. Austin might lose more than one position from that. And there's the number 1. He's going to have a dive down in. Back in the background, you got Kevin Ammon and Billings having a bit of a look, and no, Austin Purnell is able to hold off Kevin Ammon for just the moment. I see somebody's front bumper absolutely ruined. That actually is the number 32 O'Reilly. You can see the front end of that car dented up. That edge is dented forward. I'm not sure when that happened to him, actually, off the top of my head. So we'll have to see what comes out of that as we continue. Are they on the brakes here? I do believe they're getting on the brakes based on that onboard shot that we just had with Chase Pierce. But don't quote me on that. That is a good question. As we jump through, Bradley Smith all the way back in P21. He's kind of just holding on here for the moment. And you can see he's not too far off. There's the number 41 of Chris Williams, who is about to go a lap down. The situation he found himself in when he caught the last caution, well, you got the leaders breathing down your neck, buddy. What's going to be your move this time? He is going to hold that high line. This might open the door for Chase Pierce to get past Carson Lofton if he can time this right. But no, the lap car just gets out of the way right in the corner, doesn't help him in any way, shape, or form, and Chase Pierce is going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with a little bit of an ugh, a tug, and ugga-dugga involved, and we'll see if he can get the run here. Oh, a bit of a bump draft, as we're going to call it, from Chase Robertson, trying to follow Dylan Connor around. I do see those brakes getting a little hot there on the right-hand side when they come out of 2 especially, so they are on the brakes a little bit. And there we go. There's Chase Robertson trying to make a quick break there up the inside. Yes, they are using the brakes. For those of you in YouTube who asked, I do see the brake getting a little warm on these cars, so we'll see how that affects them in the long run. Man, Chase is just right over the back of Dylan, and he's still not able to make a pass work. You see just how close he's getting here. I mean, he's literally giving him a little bit of a bump and run, and there's a literal bump and run, and it's going to take both of them out. Big caution called out. Man, and they're still wrecking. All right, let's get our replay real quick of what happened with that and see if we can't get a good replay on for you here of exactly what just happened. Well, and I don't think it'll take a lot to show here, as it was, well, it was this, and then it was around, and then it was several people behind stacking up, and then it was people kept stacking up, and then we kept going here. That's going to put us lap 74 of 150. I do not know what the caution number is, ladies and gentlemen, but that is another caution on the board. So if you guessed another caution on the board, well, we are here. However, I will tell you, Chase Pierce still trying to chase down Carson Lofton, and we've got pit stops coming in. Austin Purnell's in. Kevin Ammon is in. Camden McMillan is going to stay out. You've got a few other people staying out here and going around. We'll see how that affects. You see a few of these cars really got a little bit of a lean to them here, especially when you look there at that number 15 of Austin. Look at that front end. The front end has a little something to it as it comes through and he gets in the box. I don't think he picked up suspension damage, but I could be wrong with that. I don't think it's suspension damage. I do know these cars are built to lean a little bit like that as they go through, and you can see, especially from this shot, how that our left, their right, is a little bit bigger than the other side of the car, and it's really built that way. These cars are built strictly for left-hand turns. All right, and this time, I am going to leave you to the beautiful sound of the pace car. A little bit of music. I'm going to give it a second. I will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. And as you can see on the screen, 46 laps led this race for Carson Lofton. If we check in with Chase Pierce, he's led 30 laps this race. We'll see which one of them can come out ahead here on the race restart. Pace car is in. Barney's got the flag, and well, this will be the big question for me of which one comes out ahead as we go through. We're gonna see them come around, and there is our green call from Barney. He's a little delayed on the run, but he gets the call off eventually, and now it is indeed going to be the 71 of Chase Pierce trying to fight off Camden McMillan in the background there. This is going to be our P3 driver. That number 69 wants to get around that 71 if he can here very quickly, and this is going to be where things go. Lap 78 of 150. We passed the halfway point of the night. Back in the background, Austin Miller is going to be looking up the inside there of that number 42 Richard Allen there. They're going to be trying to fight off as best they can. And look at the 78 back in the background of Bo Ledbetter. He is also trying to find his mix in as well if he can. The 42 stuck to the high side there. Austin Miller is going to lose 1 position. Does he lose 2 on the night? Well, it does look like at the moment he's going to lose that 2nd position. There we go around for Bo Ledbetter. Lap 80 of 150. Look at Austin Miller trying to drive that in. He gets a little loose. That's going to open the door for the 17 of Caleb Anderson. He's going to be trying to look for the pass. He's going to sit it up the inside here, lap 81, and he is going to have that through. Very clean move up the inside, around, done, down, and bye-bye. Bye, he said. If it ain't Backstreet Boys, he doesn't want it. Up at the front here, Carson Lofton trying to hold off Chase Pierce as they continue lap 81 of 150, 82 of 150. And at this point, all Carson Lofton is trying to do is just tick these laps down. He just wants the laps to continue. He just wants everything to just keep moving and grooving. And he really just wants to see lap 150 hit. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't believe in the commentator's curse at PTR TV. I don't believe in the commentator's curse, even though I know I'm causing a caution eventually here just from mentioning it. And everybody in YouTube chat, you can rake me over the coals later. Don't worry. Corey will rake me over the coals eventually. We continue around, and I think the thing that's catching me right now is the fact that Chase Pierce is right there on the back, but he is gaining in corner entry. Look at him. He's getting close in corner entry, but he's losing it mid-corner to corner exit. There's just something about that exit of Carson Lofton that he's really able to make that work. Back in the background here, Mr. Cameron Billings has gotten around Brian Cole further ahead. There we go. That number 16 of Blaine Curry up on the high line, and Riley Murchillo is going to find his way through and around, and he looks very, very fast there. Does the number 16 of Blaine Curry, and Riley there is a little bit faster, unfortunately. Justin Hoyle is going to be looking to make some sort of a move there. He's in the number 4. You see him as the number 51 on your screen. He's in P11. He looked like he was going to try an outside pass if he could make it work. But man, you can see how close he is there to the number 15 of Austin Purnell. Austin Purnell's been moving around a bit tonight. We'll see where he can find things tonight as we continue on. We continue to look. Bo Ledbetter looking very, very good up here in the front as well. Trying to find some way to make his move around. Justin Hoyle. Oh, Austin Purnell gets loose there off the exit. Can he hold on to it? Well, it looks like he held on to it for the moment. He loses 2 positions. Will he lose a 3rd? Will he lose a 4th? He lost 2. He tapped the wall. I think he just tapped the wall again as we continue around. Austin Purnell, buddy, catch your car as we go, and we'll see how that happened. That was a good one, though, as we continue back along. And he is going to have his way through. And it looks like he is just stuck to the high side now. That number 16 is going to be looking around the inside. Blaine Curry. Can Blaine Curry settle this pass off? Well, it does look like for the moment the answer might be no, actually. It does look like if you like the outside line, you can make the outside line work. But we're going to jump from them really quick because Carson Lofton is under pressure by Chase Pierce. And Carson Lofton, the inside, Chase Pierce to the outside. Which one of these two comes through? You see Carson Lofton doing a little bit of beating and banging. He's really trying to drive Chase Pierce wide. Something happened that he's not happy about, but man, they are trying it through, and now Chase Pierce under pressure again from Camden McMillan, and Camden McMillan is going to try to look, and Chase Pierce would hold that outside line. Man, is he going to try, though. Lap 90 on the board now. Laps tick off fast when they only take 16 seconds a lap. 18 seconds a lap now as it stands. Continuing around here, Camden McMillan, Chase Pierce, they still run side by side here. Who is going to be the first one to give this up? Who is going to be able to hold on to this longer? Well, at the moment, if you ask me, I'm going to say Chase Pierce. He's really driving the car, and Camden runs a little loose there, but still keeps it together. They're still side by side as they go through. They dive down into 3, and while they're still right there, you can see the glowing brake disc as they're both trying to be last of the late breakers here. They're trying to be deep on the brakes and really drive that car in, and now you see Camden trying to do something different here, trying to find a different run and get his pass done. Chase Pierce there still not letting it go. He might be able to get it here in the next lap or so, but every lap these two do this, it's going to just add fuel to Carson Lofton. Carson has already pulled out half a second now, and Chase Pierce, buddy, now that you've gotten that position cleared out with Camden, you need to get your way back forward. We'll see if he's going to be able to do such a thing as we continue along here. Checking further back in the field, there's been a few different things happening back in the background, and it's all going to start back with this number 17 of Caleb Anderson really in the mix there with everyone. And Austin Purnell, Blaine Curry, and Riley there in the mix. Chase Robertson, Preston McGee, they've been having some action here. Of course, we've seen Chase Robertson a couple times. We've seen Preston McGee in an incident here tonight. We'll see how they run through. But man, does that number 4 look fast back in the mid-pack. I'll tell you who else looks fast. Chase Pierce. He's continuing to try to close down that gap. He's getting him on corner entry. But again, his corner exits just aren't looking as good as Carson Lofton. Carson Lofton has something in the tank there that he's using on that corner exit. And I'm afraid as we look, that gap 0.4 of a second continuing to open, but you can see that the gap further behind them has opened up even more. And as we continue around, we're hitting 50 to go is approaching here in just the blink of an eye, and we'll see what happens as they continue looking back here, further back towards the field. Austin Purnell wants to try to find a move here on Caleb Anderson. Back behind him, Blaine Curry getting passed by Riley. Riley's going to try to look again to the outside, hold Blaine Curry off. Blaine Curry wants to get that pass back done again towards the inside, and everyone really is just behind our Krispy Kreme friend. I believe I saw him all the way up here, Walker Cole. He's really kind of the lead man in this pack. And it's just creating back and forths further back in the field as it goes. So we'll see if anyone can kind of get rid of that cork in the bottle of a Mr. Walker Cole. I'm sure they can eventually. The question is just how long is it going to take here as we ride on board with Walker Cole. You see all this line of cars back behind him. That's really going to be what we have to watch out for as we see Mr. Brian Cole run a bit wide there. Doesn't look like no harm, no foul from anyone as we see everyone settle themselves back in. Back up at the front, 1/4 of a second now the gap between Carson Lofton and Chase Pierce. The more I watch these guys run, the more I realize Chase Pierce is really just trying to dial this in against Carson Lofton, really just trying to look for that right moment to find his way around and get the pass done. We'll see if he's able to here. Chase Pierce really slowly reeling him in. The gap now, at points, it's down to 0.2 of a second, but it's fluctuating between 2 and 0.3. It's not staying consistent. These two hooking wheels with each other. And that was going to be Riley and Caleb Anderson there, hooking wheels with each other. That was a bit of a moment, and now Riley's going to drive it in deep on Blaine Curry. He's trying to find a move there, and Austin Miller now trying to take advantage and find a position up the inside, and that's going to be a door shut. Nope, it opens back up, and the number 42 is going to try to bring it in. Oh, big one! Big one on the track at Martinsville here. Man! And you have a car upside down. And that's never what you want to see. Thankfully, this is the simulation world. Nobody's hurt. But man, was that a big one. Let's go see if we can't find you a quick little replay of that, because that was a very, very big one. And it all started all the way coming through the corner. They come around, they go side by side, and there's the hook. There's the sin. And who was that they collected? They collected another car with them. The 17 through the 42. It was Cameron Billings they collected as well. And we'll get one more replay. I want to be on board, actually, with the number 17 here. I want to see if I can get an on board with him and tell exactly what that looked like from his side, because that could not have been very exciting for him. Here we go. We'll bring you on board. And I mean, what else do you say? And then here's the 42's view, just sitting there upside down. We go back live. And well, we've got pit stops happening. Boy, do we have pit stops happening. It's going to mix our field up here. Lap 108 to 150. And it's going to put Colin Kennedy and Walker Cole, Mr. Krispy Kreme, up into second place here. Man, I could really go for a good glazed dozen right now. That's going to end up on a soundbite. Corey, if you're watching, I can already hear that one on a soundbite. I hope it's a good one. All right, so a little bit of a change up here in the field as it stands. We do have our friend, Mr. Colin Kennedy, up here in the lead. He has not pit yet. He's on lap 106 of the tires he's on, or no, that means he would have pitted caution 1 there in the number 3. Walker Cole pit on lap 54. So you can see the stints here on the left-hand side as it goes. This is the last time everyone pit, and we'll see how it affects things through. You can see as you go down, all the way back to P13 is the first person who has a pit back here with a Mr. Chase Pierce and Camden McMillan. And then behind them, of course, is Carson Lofton and Riley Murchio. Riley, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I do apologize. But we're going to be getting back here. Green. As it sets, lap 110 to 150 here. As we go, and you see there, down the inside goes Colin Kennedy, Walker Cole down in second place, and caution immediately thrown yet again. See if we can find what that is. Well, there's something to do with it. Let's see if we can get a replay. And as we get this replay queued up, it looks like it starts a little bit further up there, actually. You see a few cars spin, and well, everyone kind of comes with. We'll see if we can't get one more good angle here of who that was. And we'll bring it in here one more time. It all starts with this number 4 here on the front. He goes in, he gets deep, and he just loses the back in there with the help of the number 15, comes around, and then unfortunately everyone just kind of stacks up around that, and that sends that caution out just like clockwork. You wouldn't think Martinsville is a paperclip track would breed that many cautions, but if you think that, well, you haven't watched short track racing. Things get challenging, things get competitive, and YouTube chat, I don't know what caution number that is again, but remember, whoever gets right, you get the big shout out at the end. So if anyone is right, we will see. And if you're right, I'm going to call you a wizard as well, because there's no reason you should have been right, because I couldn't have predicted this. Looking at our field, 21 cars stand here on the race with only 19 on the lead lap. So Austin Miller and Chris Williams down 8 and 13 laps respectively out of this race. If it's your favorite driver, I do apologize. Bradley Smith, Adam Cole, Branson McCannon, Ryan Robertson, and Jeff Bunton. Not Jeff Burton, as I've read it earlier, I believe. Jeff Bunton are the drivers that have DNF'd from our race here tonight. Tell you what, Thrill at the Ville was a perfect name for this race. I don't know who picked that name, but big shout out to whoever you were, because you picked a very, very good name for this race. I think the $1 million question as we get here, lap 115 of 150, is who is your money on to win? And I'm going to be frank with you. I don't have money on Carson Lofton. I I don't know who my money's on, though. We'll figure it out here as we go around. 1 to green this time by, so we go down the back stretch, and it is Colin Kennedy and Walker Cole. P1 and P2 here with Bo Ledbetter and Richard Allen, the 2 cars behind. Who is going to come out ahead on this one? Well, that's the $1 million question yet again. As we keep asking those $1 million questions, you might be rich by the end of the broadcast. We come around. There's the big jump. Colin Kennedy jumps very early, catches Walker Cole off guard, and Richard Allen, Bo Ledbetter get away very well. Back in the back, there's another big wreck, though, in the background. Oh, we got another car upside. No! He gets his car right side up. That's the number 69. And there's a saying, cautions breed cautions, but man, sometimes that saying is more true than I like it to be. Let's get a quick replay here for you on PTR TV, see if we can't tell exactly what happened. And it all started a lot further up, actually, and I'm not sure exactly who it was, so let's watch this replay here early on as it stands. And there's the hook. That is the 4 and the 1, and then the 69 gets involved as well, ends up on his side. Let's take this back one more time here. And, well, you guys just didn't see that. So, actually, let me show it to you the first time. And the good news is I can just do the onboard for you. So, this is going to be onboard with the number 69 of Camden McMillan. You see him going around, and there's a big wreck ahead. He gets a bump. So, it was kind of like 3 wrecks at once, actually, as we kind of see this one more time. Get one more good replay going for you. So you see the bump there from the Q104 and the 1, and then the 69 hits the 32. The 71 gets involved. That is our boy Chase Pierce, who's been running up front for a good majority of the night, and very unfortunate for him. So he gets in. I don't think Chase has any damage, but if he does, he may just try to drive this car out. As we pace around here, lap 20 and 150, 30 laps to go at the moment. And I think my big question yet again, as we go in here, is that number 71, Chase Pierce. He's up into P14. You see Carson Lofton, though, all the way up here in P7. Who is your money on to win? Who do you put the money on to win? Shane Barber in YouTube chat. Chase Robertson for the win. Plenty of time for that to come true. We'll see how that runs. We're down in the 29 lap to go range as it stands, so we'll see if that can come true as we continue around caution here. Colin Kennedy has done 119 laps so far on his tires and is going to continue on yet again. Lap 122 of 150. Does he have the gas, though? I think is my next question. You see the number 10 here. Walker Cole, he's going to be looking as well, and passing has been a little bit more difficult than I expected for all these guys. We'll see what happens here. Mr. Colin Kennedy has been jumping right off the restart zone and has been catching Walker off guard. We'll see if he does that yet again here as they come around through turn 4. When does that number 3 decide to go? Well, he does it again right in the restart zone. And we're green, green, green yet again. Here we go. We're back underway. Look through in the background. I see 3 wide. Makes me a little nervous early on, but everybody gets away with it. Very smooth. There is that number 104, Chase Robertson. He's trying to find his way around the high side. He's going to hold on to the high side here if he can. He's getting very, very tight through and around, but up front, Bo Ledbetter is trying to get his pass on Walker Cole. Walker Cole there on the outside, Bo Ledbetter to the inside, and the next car inside is Preston McGee with Blaine Curry. They find their way in single file. They sort that one out. A little bit further back, here we go. There's a little bit of a tap to Chase Robertson as we go through, and watch out for your boy here, Carson Lofton in 6th place as we continue on. He's got 25 laps to work his way up to the front of the field if he wants to find that win. And yellow flag, big wreck in the background. Big wreck off of turn 2. Who gets wrapped up in that? Well, it is going to be, man, looks like Dylan Connor is a big one that gets wrapped in. Riley was just missing a front tire. I don't think he was involved in that one. And we'll see if we can't get you a quick, another replay of exactly what happened, because I did not see how that one happened either. And we see here, it's off of 2. The 17 spins, the 71 catches the 69. Some of the big names we've talked about all race get caught up in that one. So I worry that for some people, that could spell a bit of a race done here. 24 laps to go in the race as we sit. If you're Colin Kennedy, you have some company right behind you. And you see him there, the number 78 and the number 10. Bo Ledbetter has sat behind you for the past few restarts, and he's watched you jump at the Geico restart zone. He's going to expect it, I would think. And we'll see what he decides to do here. Number 41 gets the wave around. Mr. Chris Williams there in 21st place. Yeah, if I'm Bo Ledbetter, I am expecting all day, all night, every single day of the week, and twice on Sundays. I'm going to be expecting my boy Bo Ledbetter, or Colin Kennedy, to try to make a jump here very, very early, and I'm going to be prepared for it, I would think. Now, whether he actually does that, well, that's another question entirely. I don't know if he will, but I would think if you do that, it would be very, very smooth through. Casey Quigley in YouTube chat says Chase Pierce for the win. And Shane Barber said Chase Robertson wins. And the response to that, well, said Chris is flirting with a top 20. And, well, you're not wrong, because Chris Williams is in P20. So he's there, right where we need him. $20 to go. We're under caution. I think everyone is okay on fuel to some degree. Tires were optional, and I don't really see that anyone took tires. So we'll see how this one goes. Carson Lofton there in 6th place yet again. And as we discussed, Carson Lofton currently the points leader for the real life Smart Modifieds with 5 tour wins under his belt. We come through 1 lap to green here, 20 laps to go when they cross the line. Who will come out the winner of the Thrill at the Ville? Who will get all the points? Colin Kennedy, we've watched him over and over jump very early. He jumps, and doggone, Bo Ledbetter wasn't ready for it. I said he should be, and he didn't listen. Obviously, he doesn't have the broadcast on, but doggone, Preston McGee and Walker Cole right there in the background going side by side, and Walker Cole to the inside. He's going to try to get through, and yellow flag is out very, very quickly. And it's Chase Robertson parked up on the wall. See if we can find exactly what just happened with that one. And this is them on the restart. They get going, and he just drops down in front of the 71. Hard on the brakes. And there was the 33 as well that becomes victim. Brian Cole, unfortunately, losing out on that one as well as the number... Oh, that's unfortunate too. Trying to drive hard into the turn, and unfortunately just didn't have the stuff to make it stick. And that's going to put us with 18 laps to go on the counter. We're officially in lap countdown time, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean for me? Well, it means I'm going to see what caution we're on here, because I haven't looked in a little bit. So let's go ahead and pull up your race recap for this Smart Modified Tour by Pace-O-Matic. 18 laps to go. 11 cautions for 50 laps of our 132 that we've ran so far. 3 leaders, 6 lead changes, and Pierce with the fastest lap of an 18.2. as we pace around here and we take a look at everything, this is going to be where I beg the question, who, if anyone, can remember that Colin Kennedy likes to jump there through turn number 3? Who's going to actually remember that? Because it seems like nobody's remembering that at this point, which is really kind of surprising me, because it's been something that I've discussed several times and I've recognized it. But it is one thing, of course, for me as the commentator to recognize it. It's another thing for those drivers down on the track to recognize it. We'll see see what the move is here. And I do want to point out, Carson Lofton gained another position on that restart. Every restart, he's gaining one more place. He's up into P5. He's going to have 15 laps to try to drive it down for a win. If he does it, it'll be legendary. Only time will tell, though. This is a track that's proving pretty difficult to pass, and we'll see how this continues on. So we pace around behind the field here. 15 laps to go, 1 to green this time by. At this point, if you're Colin Kennedy, you just need to absolutely send it in the 3. I'm not saying pull an Austin Dillon. No, by no means pull an Austin Dillon for the win. But just absolutely send that car pedal to the metal. Catch Bo Ledbetter off guard if you can, and just get gone. If you're Bo Ledbetter, you know when Colin Kennedy's going to go. You need to be ready for it, and if you're Walker Cole, you're right there with the leader. Just as soon as you hear it, send it. That'll be the $1 million question, but 15 laps to go. Only time will tell how this goes. There's the jump, and oh, the 10 missed it. The 23 gets a little loose there. And finally, Bo Ledbetter gets with him there, side by side, and there's a little wiggle from Colin Kennedy, trying to hold on to it. Side by side they go, back in the back to 10 and 87. Preston McGee, Walker Cole side by side. Who is that? Another caution. This is going to be further back in the field, I fear, and yes, yet again, further back in the field here. Let's see if we can get you a quick little PTR TV replay of exactly what just happened. And well, here it is. Whoa! There's a car going high. Let's see if we can find you a little bit better of a replay of exactly what happened. And well, you see it start up front with the number 16 kind of getting a little loose. They're 3 wide here. The 33 taps the 17, and the 4 just ramps off of that number 16. Not a lot he could do there, but what started all that is what's confusing me. As it looks like what started all that was actually, there it is, the 14 taps the 16, the 71 goes around, and just everybody becomes friends. Man. Unfortunate to see that happen like that, but sometimes that is just how things go. As we go back live, it's 12 laps to go, and Carson Lofton yet again finds himself in 5th place. He kind of got stuck on that restart there as Walker Cole just couldn't get the car going. There on the inside line, he ended up right there with him. Unfortunately, Walker Cole's now in 4th place. Preston McGee there. Bo Ledbetter, though, hats off and hands down for the good restart that he found there against Colin Kennedy. And he was able to make that one stick. He's got to do it at least one more time, if not more. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it. That's going to be the big question of the night as we stand along here. We continue around 11 laps to go here. Pacing. Yet again. 10 laps to go. We'll see how these guys get around the line. It'll be interesting to see here. We're down to not as many cars as we had. I'm seeing 14, 15, 16. I'm seeing 17 cars on the track. So hopefully the lower car count. We started out with 26 here tonight. Lower car count here as Cameron Billings, Chase Robertson, and Richard Allen are not on the track respectively. may bring things through. Camden's in the pits here. Chris Williams is coming out of the pits. Riley is in the pits. And Austin Miller is in the pits as well. We'll see how that affects things. They're getting double file, which tells me we're about to get that good 1 to green call here as the lights on that iRacing pace car Mustang go out. They bring the cars around, and we'll have 8 laps as they cross the line here. So we'll see how this goes. Who is going to win this eSmart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic? This Thrill at the Ville 150. Well, hopefully just a couple more laps till we find out. And Bo Ledbetter, you know Colin Kennedy's going to really ramp that start. Be ready for it. He's holding it this time. No, he's not. He's going. There we go. And it's going to be green. And here we go. 9 laps to go as they cross the line. They get away. Whoa! Big bump between the leaders. They send him around. Big wreck up in the front field. And Walker Cole in the air. Bo Ledbetter is upside down, and oh, I'm going to be frank. If this replay tells me what I just saw, it's not going to surprise me because somebody got feisty there on the race start. Let's get this going back one more time. Here we go, and this is the race restart for it. And yes, it is Bo Ledbetter there. Just absolutely drives into the back of that number 3, sends him around, and then the number 10 gets involved as well. Walker Cole comes through. I think, unfortunately, that number 71 of Chase Pierce got a little bit of contact in as well. Oh, let's see that from one more angle really quick. I do want to see that from the angle of Bo Ledbetter, if we can get his onboard here and see exactly what happened to him. Here we go. This is the onboard. You can see he just absolutely drove into the back of him. There was nothing he could do. And then, well, I think I break my iRacing. Take it back live here really quick. And Bo Ledbetter in the pits, front left wheel missing, 6 laps to go. And, well, he just took out the whole front 4 cars. And what does that leave us? Well, Preston McGee, Carson Lofton, Aaron Harden, Justin Hoyle, Austin Purnell, Kevin Ammon, Brian Cole, Caleb Anderson, Dylan Connor, Blaine Curry, your top 10. But Carson Lofton, doggone if he doesn't find himself in the right place at the right time. Man, if you are Preston McGee, you're holding your breath is what you're doing right now. You're holding your breath. Because you're going to have a jump of all jumps, a restart of all restarts, and really get that thing going. Can he do it? Oh, absolutely. I think the big question should be, how does he do it? And I don't have a good answer. I don't have a good answer for you at all. Getting our final caution counter here. Hopefully the final caution counter for the night. Let's go ahead and look at that race recap one more time here for the eSmart Modified Tour. And, well, 13 cautions for 61 laps. Sometimes that's how it goes, boys and girls, but we'll see if they can bring it around here one more time, one more race restart, and it's Carson Lofton, Preston McGee, P1, P2 respectively. Which one comes out ahead? That's the million-dollar question for me. They've both hit through. Carson's 41 laps currently. Preston 73 laps. We'll see what happens. Preston McGee has control of the field. He's picked that inside line. Look at Carson just holding against him there. He's saying, you know what, go when you want to go. I'm coming with you. But man, Preston gets a good jump. Carson tried to follow him through. Wasn't able to stick to it. And we're going to be, oh no, he's going to spin the leader again.
The yellow flag is out.
And the yellow flag is out. No, they're still wrecking. Oh. Let's get a quick replay one more time of what just happened. Although I think that one's going to kind of show itself. And you see there, he's to the inside and click, boom. And then you had the number 14 there. I don't know who that was, but he got involved as well. And then we come around, and you can see the 14 gets involved. Everyone's kind of checking up, trying to hold on. He spins the... Oh, he hits the retaining wall. Who was the 14? This is the one downside with the iRacing numbers being off. There it is. It's Aaron Harden. Let's find how bad his hit was here. And thankfully, it's right on that right-hand side cross member, so he might have gotten saved a little bit. We'll see the 23 into the pits here. It looks like he will be serving an end of line for that contact as he goes through into the pits. He's going to come around, and I think, unfortunately, if you're the 23, if you're Carson Lofton, any chance you had of winning might have just went out the window. And by might have, I mean definitely went out the window, unfortunately. So we'll see where he ends up as he does have to serve tail end of the line. I'm not going to read the YouTube chat comments right now, but I'll go ahead and let everyone else guess what just got said. Thankfully, the sanctioning body was a lot quicker to move on this situation than it was on the situation that was referenced. But in all seriousness, I don't think Carson Lofton drove that in like that on purpose. I don't think he was purposely trying to wreck our race leader. I think that was a case of he drove it in and just got a bit too late on the brakes there, and unfortunately took someone out. And yeah, you hate to see it, but it does happen. But that's going to open us up here. Justin Hoyle, Austin Purnell, Kevin Ammon, and Brian Cole are your top four. Any of them, I believe, will have the chance to really win this one through. We'll see how it happens. As we come around 1 to green this time by. And this is a combo we haven't seen at the front yet. So we see Justin Hoyle and Austin Purnell there, P1, P2. Kevin Ammon, Brian Cole, P3, P4. Let's see how this one ends up. What does Justin Hoyle decide to do? Justin Hoyle's that number 4 on the inside. He jumps. He gets away there. Nobody expected it. And he gets away. He's going to get away very well. And Kevin Ammon, Brian Cole back there in the back. They're going to try to get things through. 2 laps to go as they cross the line. We keep things through. Back in the background here, Kevin Ammon to the inside. The 33 of Brian Cole to the outside. 1692, 1071. Back through in the number 23 in P9. Carson Lofton gets loose off the run, and now it is going to be final lap through, and Justin Hoyle trying to get the run. Austin Purnell, P2. Kevin Hammond in P3. Can Justin Hoyle hold on? Next one ends it, and he's going to bring it around here through turn 4, and it is going to be Justin Hoyle around the line. It's thrill at the Bill 150. He wins it in a big wreck in the background. Carson Lofton upside down. The number 71 in. Chase Pierce into the wall through. Big wreck on the front stretch out of turn 4. When you see the 23 burning it down. And now Justin Hoyle tries to send it around. Give me the donuts, sir. I paid plenty of good time and money for these. Let's see it around. There we go. Burn it up. Burn it up. And while he's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back and find our quick replay of that last lap incident. See if we can't find what happened to that number 23 of Carson Lofton. Here we go. This is going to be the replay. This is them coming through 3 and 4. The 71 taps the 10, sends the 23 around, upside down into the wall. Big wreck goes through. Again, thankfully, we're in a virtual world, so everyone is okay, but that is a scary moment through, especially if you're not expecting. I mean, they were running 3 wide in through the final corners, so let's jump on the nose here. As they were exiting 2, there was a bump there. He gets loose. He's coming around. He's trying to find a way through. He's going to send it up. He's right there with the 10. The 71 chops down. He was trying to find that inside and clear it. And then there we go, up and around. But that is going to bring us here to finding our race results here. If I can find you the button, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Your race results as it stands: Justin Hoyle, Austin Purnell in P2, Kevin Ammon in P3, Dylan Connor in 4th place, Blaine Curry in P5, Walker Cole in P6, Colin Kennedy in P7, Brian Cole in P8, Caleb Anderson P9, Aaron Harden in 10th place. From there, it's Chase Pierce, Carson Lofton, Preston McGee, Bo Ledbetter, Cameron Billings, Chris Williams, Chase Robertson, Camden McMillan, Richard Allen, Riley Marcello. And then from there, it is, of course, going to continue on. Austin Miller, Bradley Smith, Adam Cole, Branson McCannon, Ryan Robertson, Jeff Bunton, Larson Parker, Bobby Gray, Brant Mickle, Mike Satano, Slate Myers, and John Songer. Your 32 cars that participated here today. And what was our final caution count on the night? Well, when you pull up the final caution count, it was indeed 14 cautions for a total of 70 laps. So if you consider that this was a 150 lap race, that would be approximately half of our timings. And that is indeed where we found ourselves. But, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Martinsville Speedway here. The thrill at the Ville 150. Been some big moments, been some small moments, been some moments all the way around, but overall a very, very crazy race. And yes, 14 races as it was. So that was where we ended it. And if you were in the YouTube chat, I don't think anyone in the YouTube chat said it, but big shout out to everybody who hung out in the YouTube chat with me through this race. Big shout out to, of course, Corey here at PTR TV for giving me the chance to do such a thing here and bring this to you all. And of course, a big shout out to each and every one of the drivers. Big shout out to this league and a big shout out to everyone. But I think this is going to be where I send things off for a Wednesday night because, well, it is 10:45 p.m. So on behalf of everyone here at PTR TV, my name is going to be Brad. I've taken you from start to finish here, and actually, let me go see if our race winners are doing interviews here. Make sure really quick before I send something off. I'd hate to send this off for the night and then not bring you the proper post-race show. So let's see if post-race show needs to come in. And bear with me for just a moment as I try to get this going here. And everybody hang out for just a second with the music. Let me make sure if the drivers are in and ready for interviews here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to jump in with Austin Purnell, our P2 finisher on the night. Austin, the thrill at the Ville, was it a thrill for you, my friend?
It had its moments, it was, when we had those few green flag runs, but it kind of sucked that race just pretty much was a wreck fest. I was kind of worried it was going to be like that, but yeah, I had wheel damage at the end, but kind of like to stay out because I figured I was going to keep wrecking and I might get sneak a decent finish, so here we are.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what happened with everybody just sort of kept wrecking, and then it sent you into a good spot. I mean, I hate calling it a wreck fest because it's the unfortunate thing that sometimes it happens. It doesn't seem to be the norm for you all. Is there any particular thing you kind of credit to that?
It's a lot of new guys in here, and I mean, a lot of those guys I don't think ever raced in here with us. They're really fast, and I think just everybody had different braking points, and it just caused a mess tonight.
Absolutely. And then kind of looking forward at just the rest of the season going on, what's your big plans for the rest of the season? What's the big goals that you're going to bring forward?
Just have fun. Hopefully we can make up some points. Had a kind of rough start first couple races in both the late model and the modified. And hopefully we'll be there towards the end when race 6 comes around for both of them and see if we can't be in a fight for a championship.
Awesome, man. And then before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for doing the broadcast, and appreciate Brian and Adam and everybody from the league, and look forward to next week.
Awesome. And look forward to seeing you next week, Austin. Take it easy, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can't find Mr. Kevin Ammon here. And I know he's floating around here somewhere. $1 million question is just where's he floating around at? And let's see if we can catch up to Kevin as we look for him here. Kevin, of course, finishing P3 on the night. 0.7 of a second back. Not a bad time at all. So, Kevin, good evening, my friend. How was that race for you, sir?
Wild, man. Wild.
It was wild all the way around, so I gotta ask, is there any one thing you kind of credit to that, or is it just sort of sometimes it happens?
I think it's just a product of Martinsville, really, like how wild it was, just because you're hauling ass, man. Excuse my language, down the straightaways, and you gotta jump on the brakes, and there's some people that can, sail it in, and some people that can't, and it's so hard to pass too in the modifieds. So like when you get just a little bit to the inside, you want to take that opportunity, and it don't work out most of the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But as far as who ends up front and who doesn't, it's pretty much luck of the draw.
Yeah, especially watching from up here, it seemed very hard to pass through. Just as the race as a whole, though, Martinsville seems like a track that if it's not one thing, it's another. I can't lie. That just seems to be the nature of this track to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get a group of, I'm going to use iRacing, for example, like 35 to up SOF. I mean, it's pretty clean just because everybody's so even. You can't even get a run on nobody. But when you have different levels of people, where somebody getting through the corner better, and you got people in the back that are a little faster, didn't qualify well, then they're trying to make up ground. There's a little bit of a speed difference there, and it just kind of turns into a little bit of a wreck fest, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and is there anything that can be done to really sort of fix that and make things different? Or is it just kind of one of those growing pain things that happens?
In this deal, I mean, I think their spotter system could be a little bit better. Because, I mean, you don't have anything and it's a little bit delayed until it says inside. Another thing is, like, the new update, you can't really bump and bang. It's just, as soon as you touch somebody, it jacks them up and turns them around. So I think like those two things could maybe make it a little bit better, but I don't know that it can get much better at a track like this as far as the racing. Maybe tire fall off, but I don't know, man. It's a hard call. There's a lot of he said, she said. It could make better, but it doesn't. It's so hard to do on a simulator like this.
Yeah, it's very true with that. And kind of looking ahead at the rest of the season, Kevin, what's your big goals going in for the rest of the season here?
I mean, I'm playing race by race. I'm just really a modified guy. Kind of like to do this. So until the next modified race comes about, I'll probably sit on the sidelines. Hopefully I can make the next one and go from there. Hopefully compete up front.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next modified race is North Wilkesboro in 2 weeks. So that'll be a good one to jump back in. North Wilkesboro is a fun track.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a better show as far as racing quality, just because you can kind of move around there, and a little bit more of a, I guess, a finesse track versus you're kind of limited to where you're running at Martinsville.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin, we'll let you go and let you relax for the night after what's been a pretty crazy race. So congrats on your P3, man, and take it easy.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for broadcasting this.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's an interview with our P2, our P3. Our race winner isn't floating around anywhere, but that is going to be where I now officially sign this broadcast off. So on behalf of everybody here at PTR TV, of course, make sure you like and subscribe here to YouTube. One final shout out. And as Corey says, if it's your first time, don't make it your last time. Make sure to join us here again. But on behalf of everyone, my name's Brad. We've taken you start to finish here tonight. Be sure to join us for the next one, where we'll take you start to finish yet again. Good night.